Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'd like to talk about some of my secrets, some of my tools that I use for chart interpretation in this series to give you little specific examples that you can use when you look at charts yourself. And today I'd like to talk about Jupiter in terms of representing children. Because Jupiter is the karaka. When I say karaka, I mean indicator of children in a chart. And the first thing you want to look at is what sign is Jupiter in terms of will this person manifest or have children, or their experience with children. But basically, you're going to wonder, many people wonder, will I have children? Of course, with the dashas and the transits, and of course, when women enter into Jupiter's Mahadasha, generally they enter into having children. Or taking care of children, and it is a 16-year cycle. So basically, this will involve the 16 years of raising children. But as I said before, looking at the sign that Jupiter's in is paramount to understand someone's ability to have children. Jupiter debilitated in Capricorn will definitely be a strike against someone, but that's not everything. Just because somebody has Jupiter in Capricorn does not mean they will not have children. But it does weaken Jupiter, which is about having children. The next variable that you will look at is with Jupiter, if it's in a friend sign, Jupiter being in the fire signs, Jupiter being in Cancer or in the water signs is very good for having children. Now, you're going to look at the fifth house, of course. But interestingly enough, they say when you put Jupiter in the fifth house, it's not good for children. Now, it's because it's the karaka for children in the fifth house of children. When you put the karaka in the house that it represents, it weakens things towards this, whatever it rules. Children is the fifth house, Jupiter is the fifth house. But I have seen many people with Jupiter in the fifth that have children. But this is just, what you're going to do is you're going to add up things. And if you continually have negative, then the chances are there may not be children in someone's life. So I'm giving you all the variables to look for. And when you start adding them all up, if somebody had all of these things I'm talking about, chances are they may not have children. They may not want children. That's the usual chance that I see. So another variable that will denote not a strike against having children, but once again, I see many people with this aspect that have children. Remember, it's just the sum accumulation of all of these things combined. So Jupiter being aspected by Rahu, by a conjunction or a trinal aspect. Rahu is the one that will disturb this, not necessarily Ketu, Rahu. So if Rahu aspects Jupiter by its 5-9 aspect, in other words, Rahu casting a trine to Jupiter, or if Rahu is conjunct Jupiter, that's a strike against having children. Okay? And many people that do have Rahu aspecting Jupiter, if they have children, they may have problems or trouble with them. Now, this isn't always the case, so don't get scared if you have that, but it does happen quite often. I know that Sylvester Stallone, the movie star that was in Rocky, he had a child that died. Rahu is trining Jupiter. And in one of my books on Michael Milken, who was the junk bond king who had the Ponzi scheme, he had Jupiter. As a matter of fact, he was born, I think, a day or two later than Sylvester Stallone. And his two children have epilepsy. So there's problems. And sometimes people will be separated from their kids through marriage or through divorce. So Rahu's aspect to Jupiter is not good. But off the subject, it's great for finances and money. I will say that. Jupiter's Rahu. And remember, because Jupiter casts trines and Rahu casts trines, they are mutually aspecting each other by the 5 or 9 aspect. So Jupiter's aspect to and from Rahu. Now, if you have 2 or more malefics aspecting the 5th house, that's another big strike. And the more, the worst. So if you have 3 malefics aspecting the 5th house, then this doesn't look good for children. And the malefics are Saturn, Mars, Rahu or Ketu, and don't forget the Sun is a malefic in Vedic astrology. So that can mean the Sun in the 5th house, Saturn in the 11th house. Both are aspecting the 5th house, the Sun by being conjunct in it, Saturn by being in opposition. And let's say that you have Mars aspecting the 5th house by its 4th or 8th aspect. That would be 3 malefics. And if you had Rahu or Ketu in the 5th, then this would be probably no children. So that's the aspects of malefics aspecting the 5th house, or the ruler of the 5th house being aspected by malefic planets. So if you have an Aries ascendant and the Sun rules the 5th house, and the Sun is conjunct Saturn or aspected by Mars or aspected by Rahu or Ketu, then a malefic aspects the ruler of the 5th. Another additional, more advanced variable is to look at the Septumtia chart, which is the divisional chart, the Varga for children. And if you see malefics in the 5th house of the Septumtia chart, if you see malefics aspecting Jupiter in the Septumtia chart, as well as Jupiter in a difficult sign, such as Capricorn, all of these things will add up and give the conclusion that the individual may not have children. And one more thing, planets in the 12th house are very difficult for children. Why? Because it is the 8th house from the 5th house. Starting from the 5th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10, 11, 12. It is the 8th house from the 5th house and can represent loss to children, loss of children. And many times I see it comes through divorce. Or maybe there's a disconnection to children, something of that nature. But these are all the variables that I would assess and look for if somebody asks me if they will have children. So with that, I'd like to close. If you would like to learn Vedic astrology, go to my university, which is University of Vedic Astrology.com. And if you would like to learn more about me or a reading, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Thank you.